Good morning. Once again, we are set for another installment of Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions with Gateville Law Firm's Sean Robertson, Gateville Law Firm in Yorkville and at gatevillelawfirm.com. Sean, welcome back to the studio. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing pretty good. We're focusing today on middle-class planning with estate and asset protection planning. We've got several different parts of this that we want to dissect today.
Yep.
Where do you want to begin?
Yeah, so basically the first thing is with real estate and estate planning is most of the people's estate plans consist of real estate. So maybe they have a house, maybe they have vacation property in another state, or they have investment properties. So definitely one of the things we want to do from a real estate and estate planning perspective is help people protect and transfer some of their most valuable assets in case of a death or incapacity, which is probably the biggest one now that people don't really think about.
Yeah, and you deal a lot with families that have lots of children, and some are maybe adult age, or some have extra responsibilities than a normal family, and it gets kind of complicated, right?
It does, and like one of the complicated things with real estate and estate planning is, if there's like 2, 3, 4, kids that the parents are going to give property to. Sometimes different people want to sell, different people want to stay there. So sometimes that's a conflict. And one of the things we can do, which from an estate planning perspective, is develop a procedure where maybe not everybody needs to agree. Maybe the majority agree, and that's the decision.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a family member that's not paying rent in a situation, but when it comes to legal matters at this stage, it can complicate things too.
Right. I mean, let's say, for example, there's a house that's paid off. An adult is living at the house. They're really not paying rent. And then to have an expectation that they're going to go pay fair market rent when they haven't been doing it for maybe 15 or 20 years sometimes may not be realistic, and it puts a family, particularly their brothers and sisters, in a complicated situation.
How about a living trust? That's kind of an important tool for some of these transactions.
Oh, absolutely. So a living trust is one of the benefits of a living trust for real estate, as well as other assets, is it transfers free of probate court. That is assuming that you put the real estate either in the living trust's name or an LLC. Generally for an LLC, that's for investment property. And you have a lot of people that have property in like Florida, Michigan, and it's important to have that property in a trust because otherwise every state that you have property in, you could have a probate in that state.
And rental property owners make some mistakes sometimes too with how they do or don't protect things?
Absolutely. So one of the things that a lot of people don't consider is maybe a piece of property is in one person's name or both spouses' name, and maybe a better way to situate that in case of a liability issue is put it in an LLC. That way, in case there's a lawsuit, it won't threaten your retirement security.
There's a lot of things that just kind of pop up that folks don't think about or aren't aware of, and when you get to an important transaction, estates, asset protection, all of that stuff, you want all of your I's dotted and T's crossed, and that's where you guys come in, obviously.
Right. And, like I said, many people, they depend on the passive real estate income for their retirement security, and lawsuits such as mold claims, housing discrimination, porch collapses, and other liability concerns can really destroy a family's peace of mind and financial well-being. And that's why consulting with the real estate and estate planning attorney, we can help set things up to help avoid family conflicts and help provide liability protection as well.
A little different than a real estate attorney, I guess.
Exactly. And that's kind of our expertise, where we combine real estate and estate planning together to help our clients out.
All right, to find out more about this particular topic or anything that's associated with real estate and estate planning solutions, talk to the experts at Gateville Law Firm. Sean Robertson, our guest today. Sean and his team waiting to hear from you at gatevillelawfirm.com. You can also call 630-780-1034 at Gateville Law Firm. Trust matters. We'll talk to you again next week for our next installment.